Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good evening. Welcome to Upper 90 Plus. My name is GB, your host. Hope that you had a wonderful week, wonderful weekend, whatever you did. Playing football, watch football, plenty of things to do, especially watching. So, welcome to the show. Again, my name is GB. I am your host, and appreciate everyone out there subscribing, liking, sending things to my page, emails. Thank you very much for the support. Getting a lot of comments and things like that, especially on my Twitter page from the Arsenal Supporters Club event that I did go to. I had over 100 comments on there, which was very interesting. And for some reason, folks were, people thought that I was Ronaldinho. I do get that a lot. That we look alike, and I'm going to say that we look alike because I am 52 years old. He is not as old as I am, meaning that I am older than him. So actually, he looks like me. So Ronaldinho, whenever you want to come on the show, we'd love to have you so we can chat about that. But again, I was commenting back that I'm older than he is. He actually looks like me, favors me, right? So all jokes aside, I do appreciate the comments and the feedback about that. So let's just jump right into it now. And as you know, I always do. You know, what did you do this week? Did you go out and play some games? Did you do any pickup? Did you make some friends? Did you watch some ball? I mean, what did you do this week? Right. So let's think about that and let me know. Comment here on the feed when you are watching the show. Send me an email. Send me some responses about anything that you're seeing, wishing to discuss, or anything like that. Let me know what's on your mind. Next would be, did you pick a team? So if you've done that already, beautiful, kudos to you. And if not, pick a team. Let's get that started. Um, World Cup is coming up around the way, and plenty of things going on, especially with the women's tournaments going on, the men's tournaments going on, the youth tournaments going on. So pick a team and ride them into the sunset. Find out about the players as we discussed before. And then, like I stated before, make it fun, make it a family event. Everybody pick a team, see who performs better than others in a tournament or in a league, or just who matchup wise, who wins what games, and make it fun. Make it fun. Did you pick your favorite player as of yet? So if you have not picked a player yet, pick a player. Find out about everything about him. Liking the player to your kind of style of football. Does he play the way you play, or does she play the way that you play? And why are you liking this player? Is it because they're from a country that isn't a part of your family and heritage? Or is it you just like the style of play? Or you follow them on some kind of feed? Or they're doing positive environmental things, humanitarian things? So pick a player. Find out, everything about them and follow them along and see how they do. See where they came from, how did they get to where they are, and check that out. And then, of course, you're going to watch them and whatever moves they're making, practice that as well, and bring that to the pitch. Going into that, did you do any training videos this week? Did you watch any training? Did you train at all? Or are you still getting ready for school to start and you figure you take the week off? There's no weeks off in football. There's always something to do. Training wise, there's always something to do. And it's not just physically training, it's also mentally training. Like I stated, there was football on the television. So you can mentally prepare for training, but you can watch games, see moves, put that into the back of your mindset, and then go out there and practice them after the game that you're watching with your parents or with whoever. So definitely check that out. Watch some videos, watch my videos. I give you plenty of tips and pointers on positioning and things like that. Are you practicing that? Are you bringing that to your practices? Are you doing that on your own as far as body positioning and things like we talked about in the future of the game? So we talk about things now, but in the future, practice sessions, what are you doing? Are you applying those to what we discuss? All right. And then if you did train, how often did you train? Did you just do something this week one time and sat around? or did you train twice a week? Did you mentally train and then physically train? Any kind of physical uh, training? Did you read any books about training? I mean, there's plenty of things out there for you to get involved with and enhance your mindset about the game on and off the pitch. I commend you for doing that because it will only bring better things to your game that you're going forward with, right? So the Euro Cup champs England, congratulations to them, man. They came through in a tough match against the German side. I commend the German side as well for making it to the final. Great game. And again, congratulations to the women of England for fortifying their names in everlasting history. What's interesting, if for those of you who did not know, the game was watched by over 87,000 people at that stadium. It is the largest football event for a European Cup event as far as crowd and attendance. And when I say largest, that's men or women final. So the women's final, more folks watch that than the men's final. Something to think about. That's how great the game of football is. Both aspects of women and men's football are top caliber, quality players. And with that, this being said, the attendance record, that's phenomenal, man. And congratulations to Euro and UEFA and FIFA for putting on a wonderful event, for allowing all of those fans to really be a part of the event and see football at its highest level from the women around the world. I mean, fascinating to watch. It really, really was. And if you have the apps on TV, you guys I know all have the different types of apps to watch these tournaments. If you haven't watched the tournament, there's no need to rush to try and catch just the final or whatever, what have you. Start from the beginning. The games are on the app. They have the replays right there. Watch a game, check it out from the beginning. Pick a team, even though you know who won, but pick a team from the beginning that you like and watch them throughout, and just watch all their games if you wish. Right? So again, wonderful tournament. Congratulations to the women of England. Well done, and kudos to you. And I know all of you are going back now to your club teams to get ready for qualification and things like that as well. So well done, well done, well done. The U.S. Open Cup Finals is coming up as well. That's why I'm wearing my Orlando City shirt here, my kit, because we are in the final of the U.S. Open Cup. This will be our first trophy final for us since we've been in MLS since 2015. And it's wonderful that they're going to be doing this for the community. It's actually at our home stadium, so I know the community is going to rally around that. The team's been in inception since 2010, and we started off in the lower division. We were the champions 2 out of the 3 years that we were there, and then got a MLSC to actually come up into the MLS into the next round as we were so being productive there. So it's taken us a while to get a grip on things here in Orlando for that particular team, but it looks like they're mending and doing things that need to be done on the pitch as well as off the pitch behind the scenes with the management team, and they've made an appearance now in the Open Cup final, and I do wish them well, as well as Sacramento. Sacramento is a team that plays in the second division of football here in the States. They're not in the MLS, which means they beat MLS teams to get here. So kudos to them as well for making a dent and impression. And maybe they're going to most likely be up with the MLS teams here soon, as they really, really have done well in the tournament to make a name for themselves. And it's a great opportunity as well for that particular team. I mean, you have young men on that team that are striving to get better in their careers, and maybe this event might actually launch careers of players that maybe thought they were just stagnant in the second division and thought they couldn't make it into the higher levels. That confidence just keeps exuding itself as they go into each game, and it shows very, very well on the pitch. So commended for doing that. So that final is in September. So we look forward to watching that. So make sure you check it out. Check out online and make sure you can watch. And it's gonna be a great occasion, a great event. So I know that the start of the leagues around the world are beginning. Some have already began. Actually, the Scottish League actually started last weekend. I was checking out some games. So if you did not know that, football has started around the world. There are leagues on now that have started their seasons. Some leagues actually start with a tournament game first, and then there's also Champions League and Europa League games that are also the qualifying for those games and tournaments have actually started as well. So the lower division teams have actually started playing for the qualifications of those tournaments. So definitely check that out. And there's plenty of games, like I stated on, plenty of games around the world in different countries as well. And it's just fun to meet and to see. I try to watch names of teams that I'm not very familiar with. I look them up, see what the stadium capacity is, where are they located, and then watch that game and pick out some players that I like and that have some quality that I think that would be nice to see on a different team as they're going through. And but again, just seeing where they're from, how they play their style of football with that particular team, how they maneuver on the pitch as a team as well, seeing the different styles of play, and then of course I'm always looking for something new to bring to my game when I'm on the pitch as well. So I hope you do enjoy the qualification rounds of those tournaments as well. So please do check those games out as well. All right, so let's get into some training. Long awaited, right? So I'm going to start off now with the goalkeepers. Goalkeepers are very key to the game, as you know. They are the last line of defense, even though it's one person, but they are the last line of defense, preventing the ball from going in the goal, right? And it's just not standing in the goal and stopping shots, things like that. The goalkeeper role is a very, very, very mental role, right? And has really become now even a more physical role as far as having technical skills as well, besides stopping the ball with your hands. Uh, Football has progressed now to include the keepers that they need to have some kind of technical foot skills and not just use one foot. Keepers nowadays have to use both feet. So back to we talked about this a long time ago. You have to know how to play with both feet. Goalkeepers now have really transcended and they're using both feet. So if you think about it and you watch these keepers in a game, right? Take them out of the goal. They can use both feet on the pitch. Guess what? It might not be their strong suit to be on the pitch to play a position, but I bet you when they're not on the pitch being goalkeeper at practices and things like that, and they're just, kicking the ball around with teammates, I bet you they have some moves and they're taking on some people. So we're going to get into the goalkeeper role and then go from there going forward. All right. So goalkeepers, you are the eyes of the team. So everyone's on the pitch, as we saw in previous videos. Everyone's watching the ball, and then you watch where your man is going. Right? You know where your man is, but you're always watching the ball first. Know where the ball is. So the goalkeeper doesn't have to worry about necessarily watching the ball first because the goalkeeper has a line of sight that's across the entire pitch. So it's not just a matter of watching what's going to take place, it's a matter of anticipating what might take place as well. And then getting that information as quickly as possible to your teammates. So it first starts with, of course, the back line. The key back line, those four defenders, or if it's three defenders that they play, whatever system it is, that goalkeeper and those relationships with that back line, it is tremendous to have off-field relationships when it comes to a team. That line is very, very crucial to the communication. They should be talking to each other. The goalkeeper should be expecting certain things from them and letting them know what is expected. And then the last line of defense, they should be talking to the keeper prior to the game as well to talk about any little things that they see from the team across that is warming up. And we talked about warming up, right? Watching the other team, seeing who's who. The goalkeeper, if you're our defender, you should be talking to that keeper before the game. See, you're checking out the other player on the other team that you're possibly marking. If you see he's a left foot or a right foot, throw that into the keeper. Let him know. Hey, listen, the guy I'm marking doesn't have a right foot. So I'm always going to push him to the left. So just be aware of that. And if he comes in on you, then you know what to do. So you're giving the keeper some information that he might not necessarily know. That helps the keeper out in the game. That helps your team advance on and win games as well. So communication is the biggest thing when it comes to keepers, right? But they are the eyes. They see the entire pitch, right? Goalkeepers, you're the vocal leader of the team. Not necessarily, I didn't say captain now. You can be a captain as well, but you're the vocal leader, meaning you talk all the time, right? The captain kind of runs things on the ship and is aware of what's going on. But the goalkeeper, you should be vocalizing to the entire team if you see something that is out of the ordinary and that could possibly cause a situation that puts your team in a bad spot and then causes something to happen where someone might be breaking the lines of defense to come towards you. If you see that happen, you have to vocalize that. You have to tell people about what's going on. Anyone breaks through a line of defense and maybe causes a corner kick, you as the keeper, you need to be going out to that defender and telling them what they need to be doing instead of what just happened. The defender might be putting his head down and disturbed about just getting beat and this and that. We don't have time for that in football. It's the ball is out, it's corner kick, you got to get your head back into the game. Goalkeeper, you should be helping out your players do that. Tell them to brush that off, get in position for the corner. Brush that off, mark a certain way. If you see a player that, again, left foot, right foot, see a strong point, see a man that or a woman that can head the ball, or you need to talk to your players about that. All right, that's only going to help you defend your goal better. Whether it's talking to the forward about tracking back, a midfielder about tracking back, an attack. If you see a weak line of defense on the right side, keepers, let your players know. Use that to your advantage. All right, but always talking. And again, you're the vocal leader of the team. Your direction to your defenders and other teammates is vital throughout the game, as we just said. You are giving direction and telling folks what they should be doing based off of what you see, because you are looking at the entire pitch. You are not just staring at the ball. Other players, they have to look at the ball and watch their man. Again, the keeper, you can see everything on the pitch, everything of what's going on. And here's another little nuance. You should be watching the other keeper as well. If you see them starting to stray from their line a little bit farther out, let your midfielder and defender know. Pop a long one over his head into the back of the net. Or just try it one time and knock it back to just keep him in the net. That now opens up a line for your forwards to run through because the keeper now is not going to be out as far, and another opportunity to score. So again, it's just not watching other players. It's just not watching the ball. It's watching the other keeper as well. So again, you should be knowing all of this information while you're standing there in the goal, right? You're always moving around, things like that. Check your area of your goals, of course, when you go into before the start of the game, when you're warming up. Is it muddy? Can I slip over here? That's things that you all should be talking to. You should be telling your teammates about as well in front of the goal. Watch this spot here. See what's going on here, so you know how to defend your goal better, right? If you don't like speaking up, this position might not be for you. Enough said about that, right? If you're not a very talkative person, you might not fit in this position. All right? So it is what it is. This position also brings out vocal leaders that might not even know that they like to talk. Okay, so try out the position. As we said, you have to be able to play all of them. So go ahead and play the position, try it out in practice, and you can see what the keeper needs to be doing, right? Again, it's only going to help your game. It is only going to help your game to know this position, right? Because again, you can only affect the game if you're on the pitch. If you have to be a substitute for a goalkeeper, don't sit there and put your head down and say, "Coach, I can't." You should be able to play that position as well. All right. So next up now, protecting the goal is part of your job. So that's part of it, as we stated. Yes, you save the ball with your hands. You save the ball with your chest. You save the ball with your thigh. That is part of your position. The other part of your position, as we stated, vocal leader, right? We talked about that. And the other major part of your position is using your feet to the ability that you can and to know when to do certain things in certain situations. You need to be able to use your feet when it's necessary and know when this should be done. It's not just a matter of using your feet. If you notice the key phrase there, know when this should be done. Sometimes you might need to use your feet to kick the ball. Sometimes you might need to use your arms and to throw. That's the other piece of the pie as well. So it's just not using a long kick down the pitch 60, 70 yards, and now the ball ends up either going out of bounds or heading back to the other goalkeeper. Now you've given away possession to your team. A simple roll out of the back to an open player, a simple throw out of the back to a different player. If the forward hasn't pressured you, you drop the ball down, and that's now a kick to a midfielder or something else. But as that's practicing, you need to know when to do this, when to use your feet, when to progress down the field, and how to do so. So as you see, it's a very, very interesting position on the pitch. There's many, many sides to being a goalkeeper. All right, and you have to be mentally capable to disperse all the information at one time and use it to the best of your ability to help your team and affect the game. So throwing the ball compared to kicking the ball is also a decision that needs to be made on the spot, as we just discussed. That is a decision that needs to be made. When you catch the ball as a goalkeeper, right? Or if you're on the ground with the ball, there's no more of this lay on the ball and just sit there and wait. Your first mindset when you have the ball in your hands is to get the ball out of your hands as fast as possible, because now you're on a counterattack as the other team is up in your box or near your box. So as you have the ball in your hand and you're on the ground, while you're on the ground, you should be looking around to see where you're going with the ball next, right? Get up and make a move. Is it a throw? Is it a kick? What do you need to do? If the ball is in your hands and you catch it in the air, same thing again. Where am I going with the ball? Who's open? Who can I give the ball to quickly so that we can attack the game? We talked about this before about teams having leads. And when they have a lead, 60, 70th minute, they just start sitting back and just, as we call it, bunkering, just waiting for the other team to attack them. Football is an attacking game. The object you're trying to score more goals than the other team, but you're still attacking. It's not a halfway game. You don't attack and then stop attacking. You always are on the attack. Yes, you're defending as well, but as they say, a good offense is better than a great defense, right? If you have more goals, 2, 3, 4 nil up in the first half, beautiful. You can sit back a little bit now because one goal isn't going to make a difference. But I see a lot of teams that they go up 1-0 and then they sit back like that's a luxury. All of a sudden now, 1 goal, 2 goal, by the end of the game, you just lost. And you had to lead for 60 or 70 minutes. To me, that's ridiculous. Attack, attack, attack. That is the name of the game. Attacking football. That's what we do here on Upper 90. Our defenders attack, the midfielders attack, the forwards attack, and the goalkeeper, when he has the ball in his hand, he's attack minded. Again, yes, you play defense. We all know how to do that. But as soon as that ball gets turned over, your teammate wins the ball, everyone should be making a move forward. The entire team. I'm not talking about just the person who won the ball. The entire team should be moving forward all together as one unit and attacking the other goal. Right? So next up, coming out of your goal compared to staying in the goal. This is a good one. When do I come out? Right? Ball is a through ball. You're now having to judge how far that ball is coming to you. Can I get to the ball before the other player does? Or did he come through now? And when do I need to actually go out to attack that player? So, first off, it's all about the angles, right? What side of the pitch is the player coming from? So, based off of what side of the pitch the player is coming from, that now tells you when should you come out of the goal, right? So again, back to angles. All of you know modern angles, 90-degree angles. If you're in goal, players coming from the left side, right? First thing in your mind is, where am I in the goal compared to where they are? What is my angle? Near post, okay, I'm going to go ahead and protect that as well, but I don't need to be inching more to the right to protect the far post if I'm positioned correctly, right? So they're coming down the pitch, left side, right side, and it's a one-on-one with you. We're not talking about them beating a defender and then getting through. We're talking about a through ball now. These are through balls coming through on either side of the pitch. Back to attack. You want to attack the player as much as possible in this situation on a through ball from half field or even further through, right? Maybe to the 40-yard line, I would say. 40 yards out, that's a through ball through. Yes, figure that out. You're going to be in attack mode. Now you're progressing back towards your goal to try and cut off an angle. You need to decide which way you want to push that particular player with the ball. Don't let them decide where they're going to take you. You need to figure out, what are you cutting off from them. First of all, you need to know, are they left-footed or right-footed? By doing your research prior to the game, watching players, talking amongst your defenders, watching that player during the game, which side does he favor the most or she favors the most? So guess what you do? You force them to the other side, the foot that they don't like to use. That's the first line of defense for you as a keeper when coming out of the goal. Force them to the side they don't wish to use. Second now, coming out of the goal, what is my angle? What are you giving up from that side? Now you know in your mind, if I force them to the left, how far out am I from the goal? Can they chip the ball over my head? Do I want to go down first, or do I want to stay up and stay big? Staying big is always the best thing. Making your hands an object, that takes the visual effect now from their eyes off the ball to your hands. They're saying, okay, what is he doing? What is he doing? You're now going to try and mentally confuse the player that has the ball for them to make a mistake, because they're not used to some object as a keeper going at them and either going down or going up. They don't know which way you're going to go. You know which way you're going to go, but you're now trying to fool them and see which side of the pitch that they wish to present themselves, and you can shut down that scoring opportunity. Next job, positioning the wall on all free kicks. This is your job as a goalkeeper. You're standing next to either the post, left or right side. You're lining up the players to defend and put a wall in front of that particular spot. So you're on the post, you're lining up on the left side, you're lining up the left player to that post on the angle to make sure that they cannot shoot a direct shot into this side, right? So of course you're going to stand over here on the right side if the ball is on the opposite side for them to do a free kick. You can move faster going forward. Always remember that. You move faster going forward than you do going backwards. So what does that mean? You want to be on your end line on free kicks because you are faster coming out to cut an angle than being standing behind the wall to now race backwards to save the ball going over your head. So please, keep that in mind as well. That's free kicks. Positioning your defenders on corner kicks and giving verbal commands. Corner kicks is another one. Where are your defenders lining up? Who's marking who? Is anyone too close to you? Bring a defender in to keep them off of you as a goalkeeper. You need to be free. You need to be jumping around and free, maneuvering players out the way, making sure every single person in your team is marking someone. If they're not marking someone, or they need to mark two people, guess what? They can stand in between both the players until they get the ball. Now they go towards who's the most dangerous player. We talked about that before. The most dangerous player is the one that has the ball, right? So, verbal commands on corners. Very, very key. Very, very key. And I'll leave you with this last. You should be looking around 180 degrees at all times to know where everyone is on the pitch. So your line of sight should be side to side, as I stated. You should know what is going on the entire pitch, okay, throughout the game. And that will make your job a lot easier as far as being a goalkeeper for your team and loading this position. So I'm going to have on, like I stated before, plenty of interviews. I'm going to bring on some goalkeepers to talk about this particular position as well. But wanted to start today at least with some tactical positioning that we're going to be going into. So with that, I'll be signing off. Uh, Shout out to my Downtown Orlando Soccer Club mates. Saw them yesterday at our reunion. I haven't seen some of these guys in 30 years that we played as kids together. We had our first reunion. It was wonderful. And appreciate all of you for showing up and attending that. And good luck to everyone out there training. Keep your head up. And you can always affect the game any way you can with your mentality, your technical skills, and your savvy. All right, present something to the game, and it will give it back to you full fold. All right, so this is GB signing off for Upper 90 Plus. Appreciate you all showing up and watching. Please subscribe and like on Twitter, on YouTube, also on LinkedIn, and also on Facebook. I do have a couple other platforms that I'm on as well, but you can always check out those platforms to get that information as well. Hope you are enjoying the videos, and we'll talk soon. Take care.